Good morning, Jim McKinnon here with Money Management. Hope you're having a phenomenal Tuesday. It's always a great Tuesday because I go to Lions Club. I think you can see that. Uh, the finest service club in the world, the largest service club in the world. And if any of you out there is listening to this, men, women, black, white, makes no difference. We'd love to have you if you have a service attitude. You want to help people. And that's what we do in the Lions Club. And we meet every Tuesday at Papa's at 12 noon. You come and you tell them that Jim invited you and Jim said he'd buy you lunch, and I will. So it won't cost you a penny. You come and check us out and see what you think about it. I don't know if you're like me, but we've had 10 days of Queen Elizabeth's death. Now, Queen Elizabeth was obviously a very important person in history. She served on the monarchy for 70 years, which I think is an all time record. But 10 days? I mean, we have presidents of the United States. Now, that was on American television. We have presidents of the United States that die, and we may spend 3 or 4 days talking about it, at the most. But we spent 10 days, and all the talk shows had their people over in London, to film every procession, everything that went on. I think that's a little overkill. I went back and I did some research. And I think it may, I don't know if you care or not. This is Britain and we're United States, so we're totally different. But my question is, why do they have royals? I mean, what gives them the right to have a life of absolute cushionly life? And you say, oh well, they have to work. I mean, they go out and raise money for charity. They do speaking tours. They cut ribbons when people are opening new. Baloney! Let them go out and earn a living like I do, like you do. Why should they have it so good? First of all, how do you get the original king? As my understanding is, the original king, whether it was George or William, I can't remember who it was, he became the king because he was the biggest horse thief. He was the biggest murderer. He went around, and the biggest thief. He went around, he had the biggest group of guys, and he and his men went around stealing and killing the other people to get their land. That's how he got more land. And then he did the same thing to the guy over here and the guy over here, and he got more and more land, and finally he became all powerful because he owned all this land, and they decided to make him king. That's my understanding of what happened. And some interesting things I found out, and this is really some of it's kind of funny, about the royals. I went on Google and did that. The royals cost the taxpayers of England 102 million last year. Cost the taxpayers that much money. The royals are not required to pay any taxes on their income. Pretty good deal. You get free room and board. You get several million a year in income and no taxes. All because your great grandfather was the biggest horse thief and killer, murderer. Pretty good deal. Now, who is the richest royal? Well, it was, of course, the Queen, but now that she's dead, of course, King Charles is now the richest. And this is ridiculous. They give his net worth as 500 million, folks. That's not even a drop in the bucket. Not even a drop in the bucket. I mean, he's worth so much more than that. It's unbelievable. Apparently, they're keeping that very, very secret, as they did with Queen Elizabeth. And it's not something they want to give. My guess is he's worth more like 500 billion. I mean, he don't have to worry about paying the light bill, and I'm sure the light bill is pretty steep, in all those castles. But guess what? The British people pay it. The Queen doesn't pay it. The King doesn't pay it. The British people pay the light. They don't pay their own light bill. They don't pay their own maid help. They don't pay to keep the horses up. Again, whatever they're making, they got a pretty good deal. Uh, The Queen was very active in raising money for charity, and supposedly last year she raised over 1.6 billion for charities that she liked. And so it was very, very important that you had the Queen like your charity, because that's where you got a lot of money. Uh, that's the main things that I found out. Uh, what kind of salary do they have? That that was kind of a well kept secret. I just tried to do this very quickly. I really couldn't figure it out. I'll go back and see if I can't come up with that. But they get paid a nice salary. You can be assured of that. All of them, including Harry and Meghan, who are not supposed to be officially royals anymore. My understanding is they're still getting a little something. Now, a little something to you and me would be a few $1,000s. A little something to them would be a couple of million a year. So everything you got to put in perspective. Do they really need the royals, or why don't they kick them out on their royal behind and let them earn a living like you and I have to do? That's my question. And I'm sure some people disagree with that. Probably a lot of people disagree. That's okay. It's okay. You got your opinion, I got mine. Mine is we don't need a monarchy. We just don't need that. I mean, we've got enough of a monarchy with these queens and princesses in Congress. They think they're royals. And that's enough for a monarchy for me. Anyway, just a little something to think about. You can agree or disagree. Hey, I'd like to come back at me and say, I agree with you. I don't agree with you. That'd be great. I'd love to see that. Hey, thanks for watching. Talk to you again tomorrow.